I'm sure you've seen that some supplements have L-citrulline in them and some have citrulline malate. And often it is not elaborated on what the difference is. And some even say L-citrulline malate on their ingredient labels. So this is a cheap trick that companies use to deceive customers. Citrulline malate is composed of 50% malic acid unless the ratio states otherwise. And authentic citrulline malate is produced by chemically bonding free-form L-citrulline to D-L-malic acid. When L-citrulline is chemically bonded to D-L-malic acid, the end result is citrulline malate, which has unique properties. But the problem with the citrulline malate in the supplement industry is that it doesn't have the chemical reaction. It's just citrulline mixed with malic acid in a big mixing vat in the manufacturing facility. So there's no chemical bond like there should be to create authentic citrulline malate. It's just two ingredients being mixed together in a cheap blend, and it's sold as citrulline malate or L-citrulline malate. And the reality is it's just citrulline stirred up with malic acid. While this isn't a huge deal in itself, the problem lies in the labeling practices that companies use to artificially inflate the perceived potency of their product. Somehow companies are getting away with labeling their products with chemically bonded citrulline malate and claiming that they have 6 to 8 grams per serving in their pre-workout when they actually just have 3 to 4 grams of citrulline and 3 to 4 grams of malic acid. So instead of labeling the following, like L-citrulline 3 grams, malic acid 3 grams, these companies are labeling their products like this: citrulline malate 6 grams, or like this: L-citrulline malate 6 grams, making you think you're getting a high dose when in reality you're getting the bare minimum efficacious dose of 3 grams. Sometimes companies will tweak the ratio a bit more in favor of a higher citrulline content relative to malic acid, but this is rarely more than a 2-to-1 ratio. So if you see the following: citrulline malate, brackets 2-to-1, 6 grams, that just means that the company has 4 grams of actual L-citrulline and 2 grams of malic acid per serving. So this is the exact manufacturing process involved in producing the L-citrulline and the citrulline malate that you get in pre-workouts in the supplement industry. So you'll see the manufacturing process for L-citrulline starting from start to finish. This is how you get L-citrulline. And as you can see, the citrulline malate manufacturing flowchart on the right literally just says mix. You have chemically synthesized DL malate mix with L-citrulline to create L-citrulline DL malate 2-to-1. So if this was authentic citrulline malate, you wouldn't need to mix L-citrulline with malic acid. It would just be chemically bonded together by the end of the manufacturing process. So you're not really getting what you're paying for, and most don't realize this is a tactic in the industry to get better margins and artificially inflate a product's perceived efficacy. Even if a product had what on paper appears to be a top-end dose of 8 grams per serving, how much L-citrulline are you actually getting out of that serving? 4 to 6 grams at most. I have yet to see a pre-workout formula hit a top-end L-citrulline dosage, and of the ones that get close, they use citrulline malate instead to artificially inflate their labels. In addition to that, even if you had the bonded version, which supplements don't, reacted citrulline malate will break apart into L-citrulline and malic acid right away after it's mixed in water. So as you can see, it's all just a trick essentially to inflate a product's perceived potency on a label, as each ingredient should be listed separately in the active ingredients section. Most supplement companies have malic acid anyways in their other ingredient section, which is still an active ingredient and does have some potential performance benefits that you would get from the malate portion of citrulline malate. L-citrulline and malic acid work via a completely separate mechanism though. It's not like they do one and the same thing when they're, bonded together or something. Citrulline bypasses the liver and gets converted into arginine, where after that it increases NO levels in the body, nitric oxide levels. And malic acid, on the other hand, is a Krebs cycle intermediary that can potentially counter lactic acid buildup. So how much do we need of each though? With citrulline, we know where the top end data lies at that 10 gram mark. Malic acid, though, we don't. So there is research on citrulline and citrulline malate, but not much data on supplementing with malic acid to replenish depleted levels as a Krebs cycle intermediary. So I don't think we can make a generalized overview on how effective the malic acid component was in the citrulline malate research either, because we can't determine if the results were derived from the malic acid, the L-citrulline, or both. So considering this, I actually included 3,000 milligrams of malic acid separately in nitric as well as in gorilla mode too. as an active ingredient in the main ingredients panel. So as mentioned already, malic acid is most commonly used as a filler in supplements and will be found in small amounts in many products, other ingredient sections on the bottom of the label. And the only other time it is used by companies is to artificially inflate their perceived L-citrulline dosage via citrulline malate. So no companies, though, are including a maxed out dosage of L-citrulline, pure L-citrulline, as well as malic acid separately, though. So it's always a subpar amount of each. So if there was some sort of performance enhancing benefit from having a high dose of malic acid, you are also getting it via gorilla mode nitric on top of the maximum effective dose of 10 grams of pure L-citrulline. So this product is completely maxed out in that regard. And that's just one component of this.